Well, hello there, I'm Detroit. So what is the premise for this drawing video, you may ask? There is nothing more simple. I have a double page spread of my sketchbook and I want to draw some chicken. That's what I'll do for about 56 minutes. Yep, I just checked the length of the footage and it's indeed 56 minutes. But don't worry about the length. I'll speed it up so it's only like between 7 and 9 minutes. There's a limit to how much chicken drawing content one can watch in a single day, I think. Like, think about it. Realistically, how long do you think you would accept to see a hand draw some chickens? Tell me in the comments, I guess. And subscribe while you're down there. Whatever you think about it, I'm gonna draw some chicken because I figured it would be a good fun time. I usually do studies in digital form on Clip Studio, and usually I draw boring things like human bodies, or parts of human bodies. So instead, how about I draw something like chicken? And that's essentially it. I hope you weren't expecting a crazy backstory as to why you're seeing me draw chicken right now. Oh, I guess there is another reason. Chicken is fun to say, so I wanted to say it a lot. Chicken, chicken, chicken. Alright, enough fun. Let's talk proper drawing, starting with the tools I'm currently using. This sketchbook is a canson manga sketchbook, 14 by 21.6 centimeters, which is a tiny bit bigger than the A5 format, with 80 pages and 200 grams per square meter paper. It feels very nice, almost like Bristol paper. What I like with this sketchbook is, well, I like many things actually. I like the hardcover, which makes it possible to open without it deforming the pages. I like how it's sewn together because I can open the pages wide without the pages wanting to stay up, like without dragging the opposite side. These are tiny qualities, but they are important for comfort while drawing. One of the most important parts is that the pages are thick enough that ink doesn't bleed through, and that's amazing. I'm used to my Moleskine sketchbooks, and don't get me wrong, I love them a lot. The fact that they come with more pages is great, and I like the way they feel, but my fountain pen ink often bleeds through. They are better quality as objects, and I won't stop using them. But sometimes I have to skip whole pages just because my previous drawing ruined the page below it. This doesn't happen with the canson sketchbook I have under my pen right now. Also, the canson is a tiny bit larger than the Moleskine, which can be good and bad depending on if you want to draw more comfortably or if you want to put it in your pocket. For the pen, I'm using a Unipin Fineliner 0.2. I haven't used that pen a lot in the past, I think, and I'm not sure I even used it on another type of paper than the one in this canson sketchbook. If I did, I forgot, because I genuinely don't know how the pen feels like on any other media. The thing is, with this sketchbook, it's a very good combo. Like, this pen with the canson, it feels correct. It's like it was made for it. It's smooth, but still with enough scratch that you get tactile feedback from the tip across the page. It feels nice enough and dynamic enough for something like these studies I'm doing, where I'm not very precise and I tend to make rapid strokes, like hatching for example. So yeah, honestly, I absolutely recommend both the sketchbook and the pen, and even more so in tandem. Okay, so right now I just nerded out quite a lot about pens and sketchbook, so it's time we got back to chicken. You might ask yourself, how does he keep making so many chicken one after the other? He mentioned studies, how does that work? Well, just for this video, I bought 2 chicken that I have set up in a cage on my desk, right out of view from the camera. And I am now drawing while looking at them from different angles. Nah, I'm kidding of course, duh. I'm using pictures I found on Google, like almost everybody else. I'm a simple guy and I know how to research stuff on Google. Also, I've never got much into reference websites like Pinterest or Cosmos. To me, there is a fundamental flaw with the way Pinterest especially works. I'm not trying to shoot you down if that's your thing and the way you pick references, it's just my personal opinion. I don't like how Pinterest bombards you with all the images at once in an irregular grid. I think this is bad, because your eye, or at least mine, is more influenced by the context than by the individual pictures. Say you're looking for people doing poses. Well, your eye is always gonna go first to the ref with the most neon saturated colors rather than the grey looking pictures, even though that's not what you really want to focus on. In a similar way, you're gonna go for pictures near the middle of the page more easily than those on the edge. I don't like being influenced like that. And you might say that Google Image isn't that different. Yes, that is true, but there are differences. All the images on Google are displayed on neatly arranged rows, so you can go row after row. When you click on an image on Google, you also get a reshaping of the images you were looking at to the side. So the pictures on the edge are shifted around, and you get to see the same picture in a new light, so to speak. And you still have the Pinterest thing of getting new images related to the one you clicked on. Finally, I think what's important is that Google Image shows all the pictures, not just the artistic or conventionally beautiful ones. You get ugly pictures and blurry ones, and ones with lighting that sucks ass. You don't get all the neat references handed to you on a silver platter. That aspect is very important, not having only the beautiful refs. I see it in the way some of my artist friends who swear by Pinterest tend to gravitate towards the same pictures for studies. Essentially, Pinterest is showing the same pictures and people always pick the same ones. So that was my tiny rant about Pinterest and why I don't use it and why I don't have 1,000 pinboards. But then you may ask, how do I put my refs together? Like here. Did I have to download a dozen pictures of chicken in a folder and then open a new picture each time? If you had asked me that question 2 months ago, I would have said yes. Now though, I have found a better way. A much better one. And by found, I mean I got told of this app by the same art friends I just spat on for using Pinterest. I'm using Pureref. If you don't know, it's a game changer ref app, or software. It's very simple. It's a black window and you drag and drop images onto it. You can get the images from essentially anywhere. You don't need to download them or right click or anything. It will open the image in the Pureref window. And you can have hundreds of pictures this way. You have options to resize all images to a similar size, you can crop them, you can arrange them manually next to one another, on top, or so on. And you can hit shortcuts to automatically display them all in a single row, or column, or even make them into a large blob so that you have a full mood board on your monitor. And guess what? You can even use the software to start a slideshow with the timing of your choice, which is great for time studies and gestures and all that. You can also just send the Pureref file to other people and they'll get the same pack of references you have, ordered in the same way, just like that. So yeah, I've been using this chicken Pureref this whole time. I've been using Pureref for all my art in the past couple months, which I have not made videos of, I realize. You have to head over to Instagram to see most of my art these days, because I just haven't been in the mood to make videos. So go over there and follow me, at d3_sd. As you can see, I'm still here as well. I'm still live on YouTube. I have a couple ideas and some footage for videos. I also want to start making videos of other art forms, like sculpting for example. Maybe 2026 is the year I branch out a bit more from drawing than I have so far. I don't know what the future holds. There is only one way to know for sure, and that is to subscribe to this channel. Trust me, it's the only way. And also sending one of my videos to a friend of yours. That is also part of the only way. Please share my content. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this page full of chicken, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!